Angela here with today's plant profile. We're going to continue in the mint family, and these are pretty much the rest of the mints that I have here on the farm. We have sweet mint over here. This is spearmint, peppermint, and chocolate mint. Mint has a lot of benefits. It'll help with upset stomach, it'll help with nausea, indigestion, bad breath. It'll help reduce fevers, as well as improve mental alertness and clarity. You can use mint in many different ways. You can add fresh leaves to a warm bath. You can drink the mint tea, boil it for the aroma, or I make some of my own essential oils with some of these mints when I have enough. It does take a lot of plant product to create essential oils, but you can also create a hydrosol, which is kind of like a tea, but it's the remnants of making an essential oil, which is a kind of an infused water that has all the benefits of the plant. So I wanted to show you the difference between the mints, because a lot of people have a hard time discovering what kind of mint they have, and they each have a little bit different characteristic. Each of these get equal amount of light, so you can tell a little bit. The colors are a little varied. If you come in here, TJ, let me show you. We'll start over. Okay, so here we're going to start with the sweet mint. Now this I kind of left like this to show you. When your mint gets tall and leggy, it starts to lose its flavor and lackluster. Most of your flavor is going to come from young tiny leaves, and I just want you to be able to see the difference. You can see that the stem is kind of dark, but it's more brown and woody because these are older stems. Down here you have fresh growth, and note the pattern in the leaves. Now each of the mints are a little bit similar, but the color and the variation in the wrinkles changes from plant to plant, and that's what it was most important that I wanted to show you. So this here is the sweet mint. Then we're going to move to the spearmint. You can tell the sweet mint has a little bit broader leaf than the spearmint. The spearmint is more compact. It V's a little more, and it has a greener color. It's also not as rigid as your sweet mint. This one doesn't grow quite as fast as the sweet mint, but it's not as old either. This plant over here is about 5 years old, where this spearmint plant is probably 4 years old, I believe. Then we're going to jump down here to the peppermint. You can see it has a much darker leaf, and even still there's a lot less wrinkling and ridges on the edge of the leaf. This mint has more of a green stem than the other mints do, except for the spearmint. The spearmint has a bright green stem, as you can see. The peppermint likes to be a little bit more low growing. Now this one is a fairly young plant. I've only had it for a couple months, and so it's still getting established. As you can see, it's growing along, and it's attached itself here in the soil. So it's trying to spread out and fill this container, and then it will get some more upright growth. Over here we have the chocolate mint, and it is mixed in with some, this is some celery. But you can see where this is how chocolate mint forms, and chocolate mint has a little bit darker stem. Even the newer growth has a darker hue to it, and this it's almost the same color as the peppermint and almost the same leaf shape. However, you can clearly tell the difference when you rub it. It smells like thin mints. This is more for a flavored tea. It has the same benefits, but you're not going to you're not going to use it probably to you make a cold compress to help reduce a fever like you would maybe the spearmint, where the spearmint you could make a cold compress. The spearmint has a higher menthol content than your peppermint or your sweet mint and your chocolate mint. That's why it's so sharp and fresh. And so this one makes a really good cold compress, as well as the peppermint. The sweet mint doesn't work as well for medicinal properties, but it does make an excellent tea. So, as I said, I left this plant a little leggy so that you can see, but you're going to get your best flavor out of the shorter, younger leaves because they have more oil content. So this is going to be trimmed up very soon. But I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about mint. If you have any questions, please let me know. Mint does propagate very easily. I actually have some in the house that I started. You just take a clipping, a couple inches long, strip the bottom leaves, and stick it in some water. When your roots get about an inch long, you can stick it in some soil and you have started another plant. Okay, so mint likes to be a little more moist, and we're here in the desert. We're in 7B growing zone. So these all get morning sun, no afternoon sun, and I do water them every day in the heat of the summer. Here in the desert, I keep them outside all year. They do die back in the winter, but in the spring they come back every year. I generally cut some off. For me, I find that for use during the winter, I'll grow them hydroponically inside the house, and it grows fantastically. You just need a grow light and a mason jar and something to keep the roots out of the water a little bit, and you'll be well on your way. I also thought I should mention that mint is very hard to grow from seed. If you do get seeds, it's probably best to cold stratify them first and then plant them. The best way is to propagate them from cuttings, or to take a little chunk from somebody you might know who has some mint. You can collect the seeds. They do flower if you let them get too tall, like I do have here on the sweet mint. I usually try to trim it before they flower. If you do decide to let it flower, let it dry on the plant and put a small baggie or like one of those see-through sashes that you can get, so that it doesn't actually turn to mold, and it will help collect any seeds that fall. When you're ready to snip it off the plant, roll the flowers, and the tiny seeds come out. So you're going to want to roll them in whatever collection container that you're going to put them in. I'm actually right now experimenting growing some mint from seed with some pineapple mint seeds that I ordered off of Etsy. It's a variegated mint, and I'm very excited to see what happens. I should add that if you're pregnant or have health issues, you should always consult your physician or your herbalist as to which herbs you are allowed to use. I do add these to a lot of products. Probably my favorite one is the spearmint. I like to make a foot salve with it for tired and achy feet, as well as a bath soak. It just has a really amazing cooling effect that just eases your muscles after a long day. You be careful not to get it on your eyes. The hydrosol is really nice to spritz on your face when you're working around the yard or the farm or wherever you might be working where it's kind of hot, just to kind of give you almost an air conditioning effect. On a scale of 1 to 4, for me, I would say flavor wise, the sweet mint is probably my least favorite, but some of my family members actually preferred this one. The spearmint is a real harsh flavor that actually kind of gives me heartburn, so I can't eat too much of it. The peppermint is your typical peppermint flavor. It just depends on if you like mint, but the top favorite is the chocolate mint. It tastes just like you're eating Thin Mints, and it's like walking out into the garden and picking candy when you take a leaf. like I said, the size of the leaf, the size of the plant reflects the flavor that you're gonna get. So this is another one of the products that I take to farmers market, and it's a very valuable product for us because I make bath and body products, so I add it to that, as well as I take clippings and I stick it in water and take it to the farmers market as an herb and sell it in cups in water. And then that way that gives people the opportunity to either take it home and use it fresh, dry it and add it to tea, or they have the opportunity to root it and create their own plant. I hope you enjoy. Please like and subscribe and share with your friends. Have a good day.